When the Acura MDX first hit showrooms in 2001, it didn't just join the SUV market, it redefined it. At a time when most SUVs were still borrowing heavily from truck platforms, prioritizing towing and off-road capability over refinement, Acura took a different path. The MDX was built on a car-based unibody chassis, making it more comfortable, more efficient, and more family-friendly than the traditional body-on-frame SUVs that dominated the early 2000s. In many ways, it was the SUV that helped set the template for the crossover era that would follow. The timing couldn't have been better. Families were flocking to SUVs, but not everyone wanted the heavy, truck-like feel of a Ford Explorer or Chevrolet Tahoe. The Jeep Grand Cherokee could tackle trails, but it didn't offer the kind of polished ride or interior comfort that suburban buyers craved. Luxury SUVs like the BMW X5 and Mercedes-Benz M-Class had started to appear, but they were expensive and sometimes intimidating to own due to high repair costs. The MDX slipped into the middle ground, offering the prestige of a premium badge, the versatility of three-row seating, and the comfort of a luxury sedan, all wrapped in a package that was easy to live with. Under the hood sat Honda's familiar 3.5-liter V6 engine, tuned to deliver around 240 horsepower in those first few model years. It wasn't blistering quick, but it was more than capable of handling highway merges, long road trips, and daily errands. What really stood out was how smooth and refined the engine felt, paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission that kept the MDX composed in every situation. Fuel economy, while not stellar by today's standards, was a cut above the truck-based SUVs of its time, often delivering a couple of extra miles per gallon that mattered to families filling up at the pump week after week. Inside, the MDX felt like a revelation. Acura gave it 3 rows of seating, something unusual in the luxury crossover segment at the time, and designed the interior with comfort and practicality in mind. The first 2 rows were spacious and supportive, while the third row, though better suited for kids, made the MDX stand out against competitors like the Lexus RX 300, which only seated 5. Families loved the fact that they could load up the kids, grandparents, and gear for a weekend trip without having to step up to a full-size SUV. Premium materials, leather upholstery, and Acura's attention to detail gave the cabin an upscale feel that separated it from mainstream options like the Honda Pilot, which shared its platform but carried a less luxurious finish. The MDX also came standard with Acura's all-wheel drive system, which provided extra confidence in bad weather and light off-road conditions. It wasn't meant to be a rock crawler like a Toyota Land Cruiser or Jeep Grand Cherokee, but for buyers in snowy climates or those who occasionally ventured onto dirt roads, it offered exactly the right balance of capability. The suspension tuning leaned toward comfort rather than sportiness, which made it an ideal highway cruiser, soaking up bumps and keeping passengers happy on long drives. What really helped the MDX carve out its reputation, though, was reliability. Acura's connection to Honda engineering gave buyers peace of mind that they weren't getting into an ownership headache. While some luxury SUVs of the time could become money pits once the warranty expired, the MDX built a reputation for holding up well past 150,000 miles with proper care. Even today, early 2000s MDXs can be found on the road with odometers well into the 200,000-mile range. Maintenance costs are generally lower than European rivals, and parts availability is strong, making it a practical long-term choice. When new, the MDX started at around $35,000 to $40,000, depending on options, which made it more affordable than the German luxury SUVs it often got compared to. On the used market today, first-generation MDXs from 2001 to 2004 typically sell for between $3,500 and $7,000, depending on condition and mileage, making them one of the more accessible ways to get into a premium SUV from that era. For families on a budget who want a reliable, comfortable 3-row, they remain an appealing choice, though buyers should watch for transmission issues that occasionally plagued early models. Looking back, the Acura MDX of the early 2000s feels like a turning point in the SUV story. It showed that an SUV didn't need to be heavy, thirsty, or intimidating to deliver on versatility and comfort. It proved that luxury and practicality could go hand in hand, and it helped pave the way for the wave of crossovers that would dominate the following decades. While the Toyota Land Cruiser might be remembered as the rugged legend of the early 2000s, the Acura MDX earned its place as the refined trailblazer. the SUV that showed families they could have it all without compromise. If you found the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us. And here's another video you'd like.